Oh, got a fox knife. Fox knives. It's a Fox Radius. N690, G10. Come on, man, let's get it out of here. These are made in Italy. A nice little case. And I actually have two of these. I have two versions of the Fox kind of radius function here. I'll have to get the other one on a video. It's been here for a long time. There's G10. It's got like an orange backspacer. Is that orange? Yeah, it's way orange. It looks red in the camera, but it is orange. Wire clip. Pretty good. I love the little tarantula. Italy N690. Hey, so let's look at this action because that's the real deal with these radius knives. So it's got a button here that you press down and then you run the blade. And then when you get to the other side, that button pops out again and locks the knife open. And it is solid, rock solid. Yep. And then to close it, you press the button and you run it back in. And now it's locked in here as well. So I know some aren't going to be fan because they don't like the blade being locked in. Like you have to press the button. Like there's a civivi that you have to do that. And I just had another knife recently where you have to do that as well. And you can snap it. I guess it takes a little practice. So I'm wanting to fling it, but you got to press the button. There I go. Okay. I'm sure with enough practice, 100% I could get this thing really running if I practiced. Look at the tolerances here. Wonderful. It's like a three finger, and that fourth finger goes on the back, but you can choke up on this whole, I don't know, pivot area, I guess, and that affords a full finger grip up on the handle. So very confident here, or not confident, but really, it's a solid grip here, but I'm not so sure about it being a confident grip. Not the way I measure it. I mean, interesting. What an interesting piece. Lots of milling on the G10. All affords, helps with the grip. You can feel it all. Yep. This pivot on this backside. What a unique little. Is that a nut? I mean, I don't know. But, we're going to find out because, yeah, of course we're going to take it apart. Come on, man. It's not going to get a pass. Let's start with this pivot. I think T8, yeah. Ooh. Lots of Loctite in there, but it's coming. Yeah, that was on lockdown. All right. T6 is on the scales here, I believe. I'm going to stick with this side because that's the side that the pivot came off. So I'm going to assume that this was the last side to go on the knife. We'll see. It wouldn't be the first knife that flip-flopped back and forth. I'm going to be careful of any springs. I mean, I feel the scale coming up, but the blade, I think, would have to come with it because of this button. Let's try to lift up. See if the blade will come off. I'm not getting the feeling that it will. So now Not really certain on how that works. Interesting. I mean, what are we doing? It's got steel liners on both sides, and that button appears to be, I mean, I don't think it could go through there. I mean, I think it's locked, but maybe it unscrews. I think I see it turning. I mean, it's definitely turning. But is it coming loose, or is it just No, I think it's coming loose. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be doing that. I might be opening up a whole can of worms here. Okay, well, that wasn't too difficult to get that cap off, which allowed that scale to come off, which is going to allow this scale to come off now, because I can see where it will come up and over that. Makes me wonder if I should have unlocked that before I did it. I think I'm going to try to unlock it. This is kind of delicate. Getting that threaded right. Ugh. Yeah, just what my big old fat fingers needed. I'm going to put it on a few threads because I don't know how much force that is, and I don't want to run the risk of not being enough and stripping the threads out on that. I mean, that feels less like it wants to come off than it did. Yeah, I mean that feels more like it wants to come off there than anywhere. Well, I didn't have to take that apart, obviously. It's like a standard button, and then there's the screw or the spring. The spring goes underneath that button, just like a standard button lock. It fits into this part right here, and that'll come out of there, and now that blade's free. So I think my next mission is to get the scale off. And of course, the thing that's holding it is the pivot and this pin. I don't want that blade to whip around and hit me. I haven't checked it for sharpness, but I assume they're sharp. It's just like a firearm. I assume a firearm is loaded, right? There it comes. Okay. I mean, it looks like a standard knife and a stop pin at this point. The action appears to be housed in the blade, and it is. It's literally that button and that spring housed in the blade right there. Absolutely. And then everything else is just standard knife stuff. Now this pivot is not. This backside of this pivot, that's a little off the beaten path. But, I mean, I don't see anything. I mean, I think I get it. In the end, the button, instead of being mounted in the scales and the liners, they literally just mounted it in the blade, but it functions exactly the same. I mean, pretty ingenious, pretty cool. That is a solid piece of N690 for sure. Well, let's clean it up. I'm seeing some like dirtiness, so I am going to get a little ethanol and give it the cleanup. Nothing too radical, but I'd say that there's some grease in there, but I don't know what that is, so I'm going to go ahead and clean it out, and I will just put a drop of oil down in there. I don't have any indicators that there's any grease anywhere else on the knife, so I'm not going to assume it there either. All right. The blade is fresh. Fresh. All right. There was a little bit of oil in here, not much, which, you know, don't need a lot. A little dab will do you. I bet you I'm off camera. I found myself sliding backwards, trying to get out of the limelight. All right. I mean, maybe long term, this little orange spacer would be a good candidate for some purple. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, all this is just standard stuff. I wonder if I can. Man, it feels like it's on there pretty tight. All right. Well, let's assemble this complicated monster. I think definitely we were coming down on top of. Did I clean this one? I don't think I did. I know you feel bad. You didn't get to see me wipe it off camera. So I want that to go up. I think I was like this. I was kind of upside down. You know, one of the things I did notice about this knife too is how locked in everything was. I mean, this action, the design of it is really tight, but yet smooth as, you know, melted butter, really. Is that how I did that one? Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, it wasn't complicated. It was like the spring was down there, and then the button goes on top of the spring. Like so. And then this, well, so yeah. Okay, I'm going to put this in that hole, and then I'm going to put this liner over the top. Wait, let's get the backspacer on before I do all that, and then I got to redo it all. That would not make me happy. Something tells me it has the possibility to be complex. I mean, that fit wonderfully. So now the button goes over the spring and down into that hole. And it fits pretty precisely down in that hole. Maybe this side. Yeah, because there is little or no play for that button into that machined hole. Almost makes me wonder if I got to do it with the scale off so that I have some play. I have some movement. Because once it fits, the tolerance is so tight, I don't think it's going to allow me to move it around. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back off and try to get them to work together. Come on, it's coming. Ooh, there we go. All right. So now I think I'm gonna go down through like so, and I want to get that button planted into that hole in the blade. Once I do, then I can move it around to get it lined up. All right, like that. And then I can, yeah, see, that button's down, and now I can press that scale down. That's the way to do it. Don't put the scale on first. Put the button through the scale. Get the button in the spring and the button down in the hole in the blade, and then put the scale on. And now, I mean, oh, yeah, that's got to come off. Oh no. Yeah, it sure as heck does. It has to come off in order to get the scale on. Yeah, it's coming. That wasn't hard. All right, well, I'm not going to mess around with any of that. I'm going to go ahead and put at least the pivot screw in. I may wait on the scale screws. Kind of don't like that blade hanging over my finger like that. Looks kind of ominous. All right, don't go past anything. Let's get this back on. Well, I think I'm okay. Yeah, because that button can't go anywhere now because it's going to hit the scale. So now I can get this line back up and put it back on. What a unique, interesting. I mean, it's cool to come across new, right? New designs. I say new, but I mean, man, maybe this thing's been out for. It could be out for 10 years. I wouldn't know. All right. I don't think I want to over tighten that because if you ever was to take it apart, you'd want to get it off. All right. Let me just run it once. Oh, it's better. Like I can tell, man. I mean, I, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that after you run as many knives as me, I run them. I didn't run it for an hour. I ran it for, a few minutes. But just running it there, it's improved from before I took it apart. Yep. You know, you know. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's locked up just as tight as could be. I mean, just the cool factor is off the charts, man. I mean, how practical? I don't know. I mean, if I had it in my pocket and I pulled that out, I mean, honestly, it's pretty intuitive. Runs pretty darn well to just get that out. And I'm a slow roll guy, anyways. Like my cold steel knives, and I mean, if I've got a knife that I can slow roll, I mean, I'm a fan. Not sure if I'm a fan of this button being loose. Uh, my Demcos, I mean, slow rolling them, man, some of the most satisfying stuff ever. I mean, yeah, having a good flick knife. I've got a Kizer here I need to get to, but the flipper on that, you know, uh, it's huge. Is it wonderful? Yeah, but being able to slow roll, pretty nice. I like it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite things. But I do appreciate a little spidey flick, a little front flip. Hey, I'm not sucked into any one thing, but I do like to slow roll like that. And this has a level of satisfaction in that. It runs really well. It's really solid. I mean, I'm going to have to grade this action on a curve because there's just not a lot like this. And so, I mean, for what it is, it's pretty nice. I mean, I'll give it an A for what it is. I will say that as I'm slamming it like that, it's it has it every now and then it's got a little bit of button stick, but only when like that I flicked it, but only on the downside. When I flick it down like that, it's got some button stick down there. Mm-hmm. But it's locked up super tight. Let's talk about ergonomics. Three finger, that pinky's back behind it. I mean, so there's not so confident, confident, very confident. Well, in this position right here, that's pretty confident grip. I mean, it feels really locked in, and I feel pretty confident I could go forward with my grip right here. It's comfortable. I mean, it's only three fingers with the fourth kind of hanging off the end, but I feel confident I could go forward, meet resistance, and still go forward, not lose my grip. This choked up spot is pretty comfortable. Very nice to like make a slice or cut. Um, and then I wonder if there's any kind of reverse grip here. Oh yeah. Yeah, it definitely could reverse grip from here powerfully. I mean, this, it could go, but boy, I don't like having my palm like any kind of slippage. And woo, man, That'd be nasty, but I mean, I'm capping this, and it is really solid. I think I could, I think I could with that. Feels pretty good. So, I mean, good ergonomics. Let's check the pocket clip out. Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, it's the orange kind of gives it, I mean, a non-factor kind of look to it. Wonderful tension on this clip. Yeah, it's a dryer clip. You put it in there, go tumbling around, reach back for your knife, it's going to be there. I like it. Good pocket clip. What about safety? Any safety concerns? Yeah, no blade contact there, and the tip is recessed. So tip's good. Clip is really good. Lots of tension there. And I'm confident I can handle this knife just about any way I want. As long as the blade is closed, this knife's safe. And to be honest, it's got an additional safety factor in that the blade can't even come open in the pocket unless that button's depressed. Like, it can't come open. So, super safe. Wonder if it's sharp. Man, it sure looks sharp. Tall, flat grind. Yeah, I mean, it's that kind of sharp, y'all. Yeah, really nice job on the sharpening. Good job. And $6.90. All right, price and availability. Yeah, so both Blade HQ and Knife Center are showing this version around almost $250. So I think this one's going to go to the purge, y'all. I'm probably going to be like $100 for this version. Yeah, somewhere around $100. So hey, if you're interested, you send me an email. But watch for a purge, man. I'm trying to get purges out every week, and this one has a really good chance to make it in a purge list. But ain't gonna be no $250. We'll probably be around $100 for it. Yep. But man, is it unique. It is just as cool as a cucumber. And kind of colored like one too. Appreciate y'all watching.